So today I'm going to cover the service-oriented design process. All the 5 steps today I'm covering, summarizing. I have already prepared the videos based on service-oriented design process in detail. So if you have not visited or not seen my previous video, please go and see that video so that you will get the idea that today I am just summarizing all the 5 phases which is involved in service oriented design process. So let us start the different steps and phases involved in service oriented design process. So this service-oriented design is again divided into 5 major steps. The first step is what? Composing service-oriented architecture. So composing is one of the phase where we are combining different web services. Then second step is designing the entity-centric business service. Each business service is divided into small entities, and these entities are related with each other, and from these entities we are retrieving the data, we are storing the data, or we are performing different CRUD operations. So that is nothing but designing the entity centric business service. The third step is designing the application services. Again, in some cases we required to develop the application services. So in some cases, we required to design the application services based on the business needs. In that case, we are designing the application services in our service-oriented design in our third step. The fourth step is what? The designing the task-centric business services. Task-centric means what? We are performing a task, and to perform a task, we take the help of entity-centric business services. We are retrieving the data for performing a particular task. We are storing some data for performing a particular task. So designing the task-centric business services is the step number 4. And the step number 5 is designing the service-oriented business process. Again, here we are designing the business process for integrating, for controlling the previous design web services. So you required a control service for controlling the performance sequence of the different services. So these are the total 5 steps again we have used for service oriented design. So let us see one by one the service oriented designing phases or the steps. The step number 1, which is based on Compose SOA. So Compose SOA, this particular phase is required for what purpose? Designing the configuration for the service layer. Generally, the service layer is again used for performing the services, and that services may be entity-centric service or task-centric service or application-based service. So here in Compose SOA, we are writing the logic. So logic is required for each and every service. So that logic representation is a part of Compose SOA phase. In Compose SOA phase, we are writing the logic, we are identifying the logic required for performing that candidate service. So this step is again completed by studying the candidate service layer. Here in analysis phase, we are identifying the candidate services. And these candidate services are again further, the scenario is again identified for each and every candidate service layer. Scenario is nothing but the step-by-step execution of that web service. So step required for performing a particular service, that is called as scenario. So we are identifying the candidate service, we are identifying the operations of candidate services, and we are identifying the scenario for executing the services. The step-by-step performing different operations on a particular service. So that is called as, so configuration of scenario is a part of Compose SOA. So Compose SOA is what? Our first process, first step of our service oriented design. So second step of service oriented design is what? Designing the entity centric business services. To perform this service oriented architecture, we are designing the different services, and these services, out of these services, some services are called as entity centric business services. These entity centric business services are dependent on data entities. For that, we are creating the database. In that particular database, we are designing, we are including some tables, and in that tables, we are these tables are again the CRUD operations are again performed on the tables with the help of these entity centric business services. So entity centric business services are nothing but they represent accurately represent the corresponding data entities. So entity and these entities are again related with each other to perform a particular task. So this entity centric business services provides the solution. So they provide the solution and business process for building for the reuse of application that need to access. Again, we required the web services for accessing the some data, retrieving the some data from the web services, storing the data from the adding the record in the entity with the help of web services. So accessing or managing the information associated with a particular entity, and that is managed with the help of designing the entity centric business service. So in entity centric business services, we are identifying the entities, we are identifying the operations of the entities, we are finalizing the flow scenarios, and that scenarios are again means the business logic is again written for each and every entity, for retrieving the data, for updating the data, for deleting the data, for editing the data. So entities are again used in entity centric business service. Then designing the application services. Designing the application services. In some web services, we required some applications, and this application may not be based on the entities. For example, sending email. For sending the email, you need not require entities. Sending SMS, sending notification, transforming the data XML to native or native to XML. So conversion of data. So if this type of again application need or application services are again required by the end user, in that case, the developer, the service oriented architect designs the application services. So designing the application service is fulfill the demands of the real world or technology specification, specific consideration, need of the end user. So this need is again taken into account, and when we cover that, when we compare these different application, different services, in that case, application designing application services are is the hardest type of service to design, because this design application services are again based on end user requirement, and these requirement are means this particular process is not this task may not be the business centric task. So example is sending the email, sending the SMS, sending the notification, sending the messages, and converting the data from one technology to another, XML to native, or XML to JSON, JSON to native, native to XML, XML to JSON, like that. So step number 3 again represent designing the application services. Again, in our service oriented architecture, some services are again designed. These services are called as designing the task centric business services. Again, from entity centric business services, we are retrieving the data. So our this task-centric business service, here we have seen, we have written that we are designing our task-centric business service after our entity-centric and application service design has been completed. So after completion of entity-centric and application service design, we are starting the designing of task-centric business service. So task-centric business service perform the different service operations on the candidate services, and these operations are what the task. For example, invoice is one of the tasks. So invoice processing. For invoice processing, you are retrieving the data from different entities and then you are generating the invoice. Again, in purchase order processing, again purchase order process is also based on retrieving the data from storing and retrieving the data from multiple database. So purchase order is also one of the process. Invoice is one of the process. Timesheet submission is also one of the process. So accepting timesheet, rejecting the timesheet. So these are what designing the task-centric business services, and these task-centric business services are dependent on entity-centric and application services. So this is the step number 4. The step number 5, the last step is what? Designing the service-oriented business process. So here, this is what the designing the service-oriented business process is the last process. Here we are writing the orchestration service layer. Orchestration service layer means, orchestration means what? We are combining multiple web services. In that case, we required a controller service. Controller service controls the operation of each and every web services involved in that execution of business activity. So in orchestration service layer, we are performing different tasks in a sequential manner. So here in orchestration service layer, one web service is executed, the message is retrieved, then second web service is executed, message is retrieved, say third service is executed, third step is executed, message is retrieved. So in this way, we are orchestration service layer is again designed in this particular step number 5. So designing the service oriented business process. So here we are concentrating on orchestration service layer, and this orchestration service layer provides the significant contribution related with abstraction of logic and the responsibility. So entity-centric services, then task-centric services, application services are integrated with the help of orchestration service. So orchestration service controls the different services, and that services may be task-centric or entity-centric or application service. So designing the service-oriented business process is the last step, and here we are writing the logic of orchestration service layer. Orchestration means what? The controller service. One single controller service controls the operation of different web services based on performing a particular task. So designing the service-oriented business process is the last step. So in this way, we have covered all the 5 phases which are involved in service-oriented designing. So service-oriented design is again divided into 5 steps. The first step is compose SOS. Second step is designing entity-centric business services. Third step is design application services. Fourth step is designing the task-centric business services. And the step number 5 is designing the service-oriented business process. In my next lecture, I am covering one case study, final case study, and that final case study is based on both service-oriented analysis and designing. So please watch that video. Today I am covering this much only. So thank you.